The sun had barely crept over the sleepy town of Pinebrook when 16-year-old Leo Dawson began his morning paper route. Wearing hand-me-down sneakers and a patched-up hoodie, Leo pedaled his old bicycle past neat rows of houses, tossing newspapers onto porches with practiced precision. The early air was crisp, and his breath puffed in clouds as he pedaled harder, his thoughts consumed with how to earn enough to help his mom pay the electric bill. Leo's life had never been easy. After his father passed away from a sudden heart attack 3 years ago, his mother, Clara, worked double shifts at the diner just to keep a roof over their heads. Leo, being the only child, had taken on every odd job he could find to help, mowing lawns, walking dogs, and delivering newspapers. Despite their struggles, Leo never complained. He had inherited his father's quiet strength and his mother's fierce sense of honesty. That morning, as Leo rounded the corner near Millstone Park, he spotted something odd by the sidewalk, a sleek, black leather wallet, thick and slightly worn, resting against the base of a lamppost. Curious, he hopped off his bike and picked it up. The moment he opened it, his heart skipped a beat. Bundles of crisp $100 bills were neatly tucked inside, held together by golden money bands. A quick count showed the wallet contained at least $50,000. Leo's hands trembled. That kind of money could pay off their debt, fix the leaking roof, and maybe even buy a reliable car for his mom. It was tempting, almost painfully so. But nestled behind the money was a worn-out business card, Charles W. Langston, Langston Technologies. Leo recognized the name. Langston was a local tech billionaire who owned a sprawling estate just outside town. His face occasionally appeared in local newspapers for charity galas and scholarship donations. Leo looked around, no one in sight. He stuffed the wallet into his backpack and resumed his paper route, his heart pounding. Each pedal stroke felt heavier as the moral weight of the discovery sank in. By the time he finished his deliveries, he had made a decision. He rode straight to the police station and handed over the wallet, explaining exactly where he found it. The officer on duty raised an eyebrow and smiled. "Most kids would have just pocketed it," he said. "That was honest of you." A few hours later, as Leo was finishing his math homework in the kitchen, the phone rang. His mom answered. "Leo, someone's on the phone for you. Says his name is Charles Langston." Leo's heart leapt. He took the phone, nervously. "Hello." "Leo Dawson," a deep, composed voice replied. "This is Charles Langston. The police told me you returned my wallet today. I want to meet you. Can you come to my office tomorrow morning?" The next day, dressed in his best shirt and jeans, Leo arrived at the towering glass building downtown. He felt out of place among the polished marble floors and people in suits, but when Langston greeted him in the lobby, the man's warm smile put him at ease. "Come in, son," Langston said, guiding him to a conference room. "Tell me something, Leo. Why didn't you keep the money?" Leo paused, his voice steady. "My mom always taught me that doing the right thing matters more than anything. We don't have much, but I wouldn't feel right keeping something that isn't mine." Langston studied him for a moment, then leaned back, visibly impressed. "That kind of honesty is rare these days. Most people would have walked away rich." He opened a drawer, pulled out a check, and slid it across the table. "This is for $10,000. Consider it a reward." Leo blinked in disbelief. "Sir, I didn't do it for a reward." Langston smiled. "I know. That's why you deserve it." But the story didn't end there. Over the next few weeks, Langston quietly looked into Leo's background, visited the diner where Clara worked, and learned about their hardships. Moved by their resilience, he invited both mother and son to dinner at his estate. Over a hearty meal, Langston made a proposal. "Leo, I want to offer you a full scholarship through college. And Clara, I'd like to sponsor a management course for you, so you can move up from waiting tables to running your own cafe, if that's something you'd want." Tears welled in Clara's eyes. "Why would you do this for us?" Langston's expression softened. When I was young, someone gave me a second chance. I've never forgotten that. What Leo did, it reminded me of who I was before the money. That night, Leo stared at the stars from his bedroom window, overwhelmed. One small act of honesty had changed the course of their lives. Years passed. Leo graduated top of his class, then completed his degree in computer engineering. With Langston's mentorship, he launched a startup focused on affordable educational technology for low-income schools. It thrived. Eventually, Leo returned to Pinebrook, not as a paperboy, but as a philanthropist. He opened a community center with free tutoring, internet access, and meals for struggling families. At the ribbon-cutting ceremony, now elderly Charles Langston stood beside Leo, pride glowing in his eyes. "You've done well, son. More than well." Leo looked out at the crowd, then back at the man who had believed in him. "All I did was return a wallet," he said with a smile. Langston placed a hand on his shoulder. "And in doing so, you found your purpose." One act of honesty can ripple through the world in unexpected and beautiful ways. Integrity is the true currency that changes lives.